no food is off limits.
I think it's time to give myself, and maybe you, a little bit of tough love.
It's not gonna be fun, but this is what it is. Good morning. It is a beautiful day to talk about all things fat loss and why your calorie deficit isn't working, because I am currently in that situation. I have supposedly been in a calorie deficit for 5 weeks now, but obviously not, because I have not lost any weight. I'm assuming if you clicked on this video, you're in the same boat, so that is super awesome for both of us. A couple years ago, I went through a pretty serious weight loss journey and I lost about 30 pounds of fat. So I know exactly what I need to do to get results, what I'm doing wrong, and what you also might be doing wrong. We're gonna talk about changes that you can make and the changes I'll be making moving forward to start seeing results. I'm gonna vlog the day today and share my workout habits, routines, meals. It's gonna be a good time. Let's get into the juicy part, why you're not losing weight. And when I say you, I actually mean we, because I'm right there with you. The tough love truth here is that if we were in a calorie deficit, we would be losing weight. It is physically impossible to be in a calorie deficit and not lose weight. Your body has to get that energy from somewhere. So here's what might be happening. A, you're lying to yourself about your tracking. B, you're actually tracking accurately and you are in what you think is a calorie deficit, but maybe your maintenance calories is estimated incorrectly, because sometimes the calculators fail us. Even if you're following the plan exactly, the plan isn't actually putting you in a calorie deficit. Or it could be C, metabolic adaptation. As we lose weight, our metabolism actually slows down because there's less mass on our body that needs upkeep or energy each day. That can cause a plateau for some people because what they thought was a calorie deficit has now changed since their metabolism has slowed down a little bit. When we're in a calorie deficit in general, our body actually slows down our metabolism to keep us from dying because our bodies think we're starving. Individually or together, these things can prevent weight loss. Now, it is possible that you are losing fat even if the number on the scale isn't changing. I'm definitely not losing weight because none of these factors really will apply to me, but you might be losing weight. Here are some of the reasons why. The first is gaining muscle or body recomposition. You might be gaining muscle and losing fat at the same time, which could cause the number on the scale to stay the same. If you are close to starting your period or at the start of your period, that can cause your body to retain a little bit of water. Bad sleep, bad digestion, getting sick, drinking more alcohol or having more salt than usual, all of those things can cause the scale weight to go up a little bit. Fat loss can sometimes happen in random spurts. It's not exactly linear. So back when I was in my fat loss journey, sometimes I would spend weeks where I didn't lose any weight and then suddenly I would lose 2 or 3 pounds out of nowhere within a couple of days. Our bodies are very complicated and there's a lot going on in there. So sometimes you just need to give it time. And speaking of giving it time, don't come at me if you're in week 1 and you're like, why am I not seeing results yet? Girl, it's week 1. Give it a few more weeks and then come talk to me and we can see what's kind of going on there. But let's get into the plan. What are we going to do about it? Because we do have a weapon in our back pocket. It's not going to be fun, but this is what it is. Less calories. Our body is telling us for whatever reason that we are not actually in a calorie deficit, so something has to change. We can add exercise, we can reduce calorie intake, or you can do a combination of both. I think the key at this point is to make small tweaks and changes. I think for a lot of people, myself included, this could just mean, hey, I'm gonna track more accurately for the next couple of weeks because maybe I've been guesstimating a little bit, or maybe I'm just gonna add one morning walk in every day. Because personally, I wanna avoid dropping calories if at all possible because I am hungry. So what I'm gonna do to start, and this is what I recommend for anyone in the same situation, is give it 2 weeks or so of strict adherence. And then if that doesn't help and you're still not seeing the results that you're looking for, reducing your calories by an additional 5 to 10% from maintenance. Small changes to start, because if you decrease calories by too much, your body is gonna try and slow down your metabolism as much as possible to try and help you survive, which is, great most of the time. Not great in this particular situation. The way that I like to think about fat loss is sneaking up on the body. I do not want my body to know or even realize that I am in a calorie deficit, because once your body knows what's going on, it's gonna try and do everything possible to keep you alive, slow down your metabolism. Yeah, so are any of us feeling good right now about eating less calories, exercising more? Because I'm not feeling great about that. Luckily, there are lots of other things we can do to help support this goal that don't directly include reducing calories. That is exactly what I'm gonna be sharing throughout the rest of this vlog. So let's get into it, starting with today's workout. Let's get into the first couple of mistakes that I've made regarding my fitness and the changes I'll be making moving forward. When you calculate your maintenance calories, it'll usually ask you how active you are. I chose more of a goal activity level than an actual activity level. So I feel like I have two choices here. I either live up to to the activity level that I set, or I can be honest with myself and adjust my activity level. I tried to do the latter. I would be on such low calories that is just not even an option. It sounds like I will be working out more consistently, which is honestly for the best. I have also been writing off easy or quick or shorter workouts because it's like, oh, it's just 15 minutes, or it's just Pilates, or it's just mobility, or it's just a walk, whatever, I'm just gonna skip it. I've realized though that those shorter sessions really do add up and make a difference, so I will no longer be doing that. I'm gonna take them just as seriously. And speaking of taking things seriously, I feel like I have really not been bringing the same level of intention, intensity, and focus to my more chill workout sessions. So we're gonna change that today. For today's workout, I'm gonna be doing a Pilates session from my Ignite workout guide. I wanna be high energy, high effort. The workout is time-based, so I wanna go full out for the entire time or as long as I can, not taking breaks in between, not quitting early. So a little bit about the guide, it's designed to get maximum results in minimal time. I felt like back when I was working my corporate job, I really couldn't find a program that would fit into my schedule realistically, that actually worked within a busy gym, a commercial gym on weekday mornings when it was really crowded. So with the program, you don't have to do a ton of equipment switching. There's lots of workouts that can be done from home if you would prefer that and you wanna like save the drive. And as a part of the Reignite series on my channel where I'm getting back into health and fitness and going through the program again, I'm running 20% off of the guide using the code Reignite20. I'm about halfway through the program right now, so you only have a few weeks left if you want to use the discount to grab a copy of the guide yourself. Anyway, I could sit here and just talk to you all day procrastinating my workout, but I know what I must do, so. I am so out of breath. I feel like no matter how much time you have, even if you only have 5 minutes, you get out what you put in. Particularly my mobility, flexibility, Pilates, core work. I have been so lazy. I feel like this workout was my reminder that any workout can be hard if you put in enough effort and intention behind it. I had been getting to the end of my sessions recently saying, oh, that wasn't that hard or whatever. And it's like, I was not putting my full effort in. I was not thinking about my form, my control, engaging my core, noticing the moments that I was breezing through it and pushing myself harder. I'm definitely going to try and implement that mindset moving forward with all of my sessions. Like, how can I put intention behind every single session? Okay, I am very hungry, so it's time to make breakfast. I'm gonna do a peanut butter protein smoothie, calorie deficit friendly or friendlier. I'm gonna do a few lower calorie swaps just to make things a little bit more reasonable because of course I only have so many calories in the day. 2 tablespoons of regular peanut butter is 190 calories. 2 tablespoons of PB2 is 60 calories. Now, I would never in a million years make the argument that these two things taste the same. When I'm blending everything together into a smoothie, I feel like I can get away with this. I am gonna put a little bit of this on the sides of the cup because I feel like when I drizzle it in, I can taste it a lot more. This isn't a swap as much as it's just an exclusion. Normally I love adding a date to my smoothies. I just feel like it gives you these little chewy caramely bits. Really tasty, but I would prefer to have this by itself in the afternoon or as a date bite for dessert or something like that. Since I'm just using a banana in this smoothie as my fruit, bananas don't have a ton of fiber on their own. Doing a little fiber boost. Just me and my bestie, the food scale. We're gonna be seeing a lot of each other in these next few weeks. And if I'm being honest with myself, this probably needs more liquid to blend, so I'm gonna add a little bit of water. Ta-da! That's nice, particularly when you're using the calorie tracking method to lose weight. Truly, no food is off limits. Like, I used to think, oh, I can't have sugar in my iced coffee. I need to have like a black coffee if I want to lose weight. I can't eat peanut butter because it's high calorie. Objectively, those things aren't true, but you only have so many calories in a day, so obviously you do need to prioritize. And there are certain things for me that I will not budge on. Between 50 and 100 calories of basically pure sugar in my coffee. For me, that is non-negotiable. I love peanut butter. I find ways to get some peanut butter into into my life, even when I'm tracking calories. I say all of this in case you have a similar mindset of what I used to have a few years ago. There are these rules to lose weight or to be healthy or to reach your fitness goals. I don't think there are any hard and fast rules, but at the same time, you can't have it all. I feel like you have to find somewhere to make sacrifices and swaps. That's what it is, right? Because really this is just a numbers game at the end of the day. My peanut butter swirl on this smoothie is very much worth it, in my opinion.
I wanted to share the macros of that smoothie with you because after I input it into my MyFitnessPal for my tracking, I was like, wow, these macros are amazing. Okay, so 367 calories, 37.3 grams of protein, and 5.5 grams of fiber. I feel like that's pretty good. I think it's time to give myself, and maybe you, if you resonate with this, a little bit of tough love. I've experienced the level of suffering and grit that it takes to see results for weight loss, and I just don't feel like I've gotten there yet. It just hasn't been that hard for me. I think the reason it hasn't been that hard is because I haven't really been all in like I need to. I have just been too nice to myself. I've just been like, oh, just have a little treat. You deserve it, like kind of energy all the time. And what's so frustrating and annoying about that is when it comes to a calorie deficit, we're talking about a couple hundred calories a day between your maintenance normal level and actually losing the weight you're trying to lose. So I work hard most of the day to make healthy choices, and I'm tracking, I'm weighing, and then I get like 80 or 90% of the way to my goal and I just give up. It's like I'm running a marathon. I get to the last mile. I look at the finish line and I'm like, I just don't feel like it. And I turn around and go home. And honestly, I'm just feeling frustrated with myself. I was so excited to start this Reignite series and get back into health and fitness. Just feel like I've wasted a lot of my time over the past few weeks. I just know I can be doing better. And that's not fun, but at least I am now being honest with myself. I'm making the changes and taking the steps to actually get where I want to go. One thing I've been doing lately, I wanted to share in case anyone else has experienced this. I'm definitely a perfectionist. I'm using it as an excuse. If I mess up one meal, I just say, oh, the whole day is ruined. Write it off, I'll start again tomorrow. The tough love I need to hear right now, that is lazy. Truly, I'm only doing that because I don't want to start doing the right thing, making the right choices. I'd rather just say, whatever, I'll start tomorrow, I'll start next week. I don't want to do that anymore. And I'm setting that as a goal for myself. I need to stop using perfectionism as an excuse to not follow through. Another thing, I need to be drinking more water, especially if you are in a fat loss phase, a calorie deficit. It is really, really helpful to feel a little bit fuller. Honestly, I know it might sound ridiculous, but it is literally extra volume in your stomach. Being hydrated helps a lot with kind of focus and honestly mental willpower. There is some really interesting science to support that. So being dehydrated can also cause water retention because your body's like, whoa, when's the next time we're going to get water? We need to hold on to some of this. So I may be retaining a little bit more water because I am so dehydrated. So that's great. I need to show you guys the biggest calorie tracking faux pas that I've maybe ever had.
I am straight up addicted to the True Fruit frozen raspberries and strawberries. This is not in any way, shape, or form True Fruit slander. This concept is totally genius, and I love that I'm having fruit for dessert. So this is not their fault. This is my fault, okay? The serving size on this label is 4 to 5 pieces. So what I was doing was counting out 10 pieces and thinking, okay, I'm having 180 calories. Here's the problem with that though, especially with something like fruit that has so much natural variation in size. Let's do 5 random raspberries. I know this one's a little bit bigger, but let's call that 5. These 5 raspberries weigh 57 grams, which would be almost 180 calories. I'm not gonna do the math exactly in my head right now, but I was probably having, I'm not kidding you, 400 to 500 calories of raspberries every night when I was intending to have 180. That'll do it. And that is why I'm back on my food scale and I'm back on weighing everything, because I feel like my guesstimating here and there was enough to prevent me from losing weight. It doesn't take a lot. I feel like you just have to be really careful and really on it. That is my takeaway. If you're gonna do it, go all in. Otherwise, why bother, you know? At least that's what I think. I'm gonna take a quick walk because I think walking, getting steps in is one of the easiest ways to increase your calorie deficit. It's also just really good for you, your overall health. And this will also be the first time I'm leaving my house today, so that's always good. I feel like I get really lazy with walks in the winter because I hate the cold, but it's not that cold. It's like 55 today. Like, be so for real. Okay, that was honestly so nice. And I always feel so silly when I procrastinate something like that and then I finally do it and I'm like, oh, it's just a walk. Like something even as simple as going on a walk will snowball in my mind into this huge effort. I feel like this is my reminder that it's not that big of a deal, you know? It's just, it's not that big of a deal. One thing I wanted to talk about that I've actually been doing an okay job of, but I wanted to mention in case it's helpful to anyone else out there, eating high protein, high fiber, and eating more whole foods is really helpful because all three of those food groups, I guess, are a little bit harder for your body to break down, meaning that you net less calories overall. That's actually one way you can see better fat loss results without actually decreasing your calories. Just adding in those foods that are more complex for your body to digest. That way you net a little bit less calories overall. I really hope this video doesn't come across as me just like bashing myself the whole time because we're learning as we go. We're doing the best we can. I just wanted to share the mistakes that I've been making and the things I know I could do differently to get better results. I feel very fortunate that this isn't something that's emotional for me. Like, I don't think that's a reflection of who you are in any way. I try not to get emotional about it, honestly. I try to just think of it like numerically. I have a strategy, I have a plan, I'm doing my best. I'm not gonna be perfect. That's okay. This isn't an exact science. I just don't want you to walk away from this video feeling bad about yourself or feeling like I'm feeling bad about myself. We're just doing the best we can. This is kind of an intense way to think about it, but your body is literally surviving off of itself. When you are losing weight, your body is using existing stores for fuel because you are not giving it enough fuel to survive. It's an intense thing, and I think sometimes, myself included, we downplay it. Yeah, you have to really push yourself, and that's one of the things that I find exciting about it, honestly. So yeah, that is where we're at right now. I'm gonna take the next 2 weeks to try and really lock in and stick to the plan and see how things go before I start making any other changes. I will keep you all updated on how things are going, and I would love it, honestly, if you would also keep me updated on how things are going for you, whether you are getting back on track with me or you're trying to lose fat, overcoming a plateau, or whatever it is. It's really fun for me, honestly, to have that extra accountability, so I would love to hear how things are going. It's been so much fun seeing you guys pick up your copies of Ignite. I love that we are all getting back on track together. We're rebuilding our fitness together, and it's just so much fun and so exciting. So if you're thinking about grabbing a copy of the guide, make sure to use the code REIgnite20 to get 20% off. I could literally keep going on forever, but I won't. I'm gonna stop there. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you'd like to see more from me, make sure to subscribe. I upload new videos every week, and I will see you next time.